To wrap up our day one, we're going to invite thoughts and reflections from two brilliant people. The first is from Romy Listo. So welcome, Romy.
So I'll start by acknowledging the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung people of the Kulin Nation and pay respects to elders past and present, and to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander women who are with us today. I also want to thank Helen and Maree for pulling together this special space for us today, and especially Helen for holding this space for us to come together for so many years. So I have the unenviable task of drawing together the threads of the very rich thoughts and expertise of our speakers today. And as I launched into this quite intimidating job, I couldn't help but feel, with full respect to Helen, that our Gender Equality Symposium Working for Women might be a bit of a misnomer. Because in listening to our panellists and speakers, what I heard was not a desire to talk about policy for gender equality, with the possible exception of this last panel, and full disclosure, I wrote this in the break in between, but what we are and where we are going as a feminist movement. We heard this in our climate change panel, who noted that we need to go beyond acknowledging the gendered impacts of climate change to recognise that women and gender diverse people actually design different solutions to climate change problems. As Victoria put it, with a focus on nature, process, and relationships. Or as Bianca described through her example of introducing a language name for seagrass and teaching children to plant it in the Baingora Nyalu Turtle Monitoring Program. We heard this again through our panel on sustainable feminist advocacy from Kit, Eleanor, Chadney, Caro, and Shanna. We heard in particular about the importance of care and connection and using our resources to build trust. And I think I speak for many of us when I say how much this resonated with and energized me. We also heard that we need to focus on identifying power, shifting power, and analysing power. Power over, power under, and power with, ours and that of others, in this time of epochal change. This attention to power was reflected in the words of Sally, Helen, Nikki, Tanja, and Ramona in the panel we just had on gender responsive budgeting. It was also reflected in the words of Sex Discrimination Commissioner Anna Cody and her emphasis on intersectionality as a lens for responding to the complexity of power. Our YWAGers, Bree, Tasha, and Claire, asked us to think about how we hold and use our power over time spans and use it for and with future generations and feminists. For me, these sessions together highlighted the feminist power that we have now, and our ability and our responsibility to be accountable to one another. The way that we connect with each other in our movement, and whether we fight with each other or work together, is something that we can control. Even when, as Eleanor described, much of the environment we operate in pits us against each other and is beyond our influence. And we heard why our work together is needed. Dr. Rebecca Huntley showed us that in spite of our progress, attitudes towards gender equality are really hanging in the balance at the moment. And we've also discussed how intersectional feminist contributions have a role to play beyond traditional gender issues in climate change and in government systems and budgeting, to name a few. At the beginning of the day, Helen asked us, what are the structures, tools, and resources that we need from here? And what I heard was that the structure that we need is an intersectional feminist movement, and that we need sustainability, independence, and intersectionality, and to continue to work on putting these into practice. We already have the tools and resources of our relationships, our collectivity, and our analysis of power and of ourselves. We can keep trying to build the snowball, to borrow some words from Chadney, strengthening ourselves and our relationships on the inside while we continue to grow and pick up snow on the outside.
So beautifully said, Romy. It is truly an unenviable task, but you did that so beautifully to weave all the threads together. To round out our day today before we head to some drinks, I'd like to invite back up to the stage the brilliant Tanja.
Contrary to popular opinion, I am not so good just by myself. I'm here today with my co-founder and co-CEO of Gender Lens Australia, Dr. Maree overall. We are definitely better together, and we are big fans of promoting to gender equality organisations the importance of co-leadership. Can we say today thank you so much to Helen and all of the team at the ERA. Helen, you have been a powerhouse. Yeah, big clap. Oh, there she is. I'm looking for her somewhere up there. There, she's hiding down in the corner. You've been a powerhouse for this organisation for so long. I'm terribly sad to hear that ERA will be coming to a conclusion, but if I know the gender equality sector, it won't be long before we self-organise to find another space that looks like ERA. That has been the journey, and a journey that goes beyond just seeing ourselves as national alliances that are constructed by the government. I'm also proud today to be standing in an organisation that has so many members of the Shift for Gender Equality group. For those of you who are familiar with this group, they're unpaid, they're unsung, they're quiet little achievers. Can I just get all of you to stand up? Come on, Shenna, Helen, Sally, Caro, myself. These are the people that are making it possible for there to be sharing of gender equality initiatives via email. They have been running informal forums across all of COVID and continue to provide some of the energy that we want to see connecting us across different alliances, across different sectors. It's critically important to not just Australia, but to across the world right now, that we have effective gender equality and feminist advocacy. The world is going to need us and advocates deeply over the next decade. And our capacity to be more effective organisers is really very, very important. What do two feminists decide to get out of government and get out of the community sector making a social impact organisation? Partly, Maree, it's because we didn't want government to tell us what to do anymore. What do you reckon?
It's actually also about creating joy. Like, we know that the burden that we carry and the work that we do is difficult, and it was brought home to me recently. I had the fortunate opportunity of being on holidays in North America, and I was speaking to a young woman who works as a volunteer. She's a trainee lawyer. She works as a volunteer, as an observer in Canada for people who are experiencing homelessness, who are being hassled at the moment, and she observes what is happening so she can help them with their legal cases. And her mother turned to me and said, "What do you do for your self-care in these situations?" Because her mother was obviously concerned that she wasn't looking after herself. And it struck me that I actually don't have any official self-care, as a lot of organisations that I work for do for their employees. But the self-care that we do is sharing the load and sharing the journey and sharing all the experiences that we have with other women and other feminists. And partly that is in our mentoring, both unofficial and official. And I really appreciate the youth group who spoke today, because although I am a mentor, I am a mentee from a lot of the younger women that in my life, particularly in my family, who always are helping me with understanding the new trends in social media. So yes, I get the TikTok stuff, although I don't use it. But the intergenerational thing, I think everyone thinks of it as older people passing it down. It's actually not for me. I get much more from the passing up. And because of that, we try and create some joy in the work that we do. So Tanja and one of her friends has come up with this great idea that we're actually going to invite you to be part of.
So you'll see just up near where we're going to have drinks in a minute, which we're very honoured to be able to sponsor. an invitation to Guru Purnima. For those of you who are from the subcontinent, you may know what we're talking about. I got beautifully introduced to it by Dr. Ayushi Bagga. It is a cultural tradition from Hindi and Buddhist traditions to celebrate our mentors, to celebrate our teachers, our gurus and guides. And we will be hosting a special luncheon, which we invite you to come and attend with us. Bring along your mentor, bring along your hero, or bring along somebody that you are investing in and helping develop and grow. We love to spend our money. We don't tell our other halves how much we spend the money that we make on investing back into the gender equality sector, and we love to do that with joy. We're very proud today to see women that we hosted our International Women's Day Peace Picnic for. We had women of all the children of Abraham with us, celebrating the important role that women play in peacekeeping. We want to keep doing that on International Women's Day, and we want it to be a joyful, fun activity. Yes, give that a clap, I can see. We need women for peace. We would love this to continue as an annual activity of building mentors, and we'd like to also put a plug into, we are on our third year of this year of delivering Feministmas. So you will have to get to Melbourne. We are organically growing it, and we've got some fabulous things planned for Feministmas this year, and we'd love to see you at. And we're very honoured to be able to support the drinks, and we won't get in the way of any more drinks.